Yo guys, I'm still welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be ranking every single club in League One's fans for the 2020 to 21 campaign based on 3 categories: club size, home support and away support. Now just before we jump right into this video, if you do enjoy, please sure to leave a like, comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new, because I've got loads more League One content lined up in the pan for you guys. Yo guys, I'm still welcome back to another video, and today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be ranking League One fans in a league table order from 1st all the way down to 24th based on 3 things: size of the club, home support and away support. Now I thought this was quite an important and fitting video to make because at the minute football fans are not permitted to enter grounds due to the ongoing struggles of COVID-19 and have not been able to do so since March. Test events have been ran here and there, but with a reduced capacity, but just not the same feeling on the match day and that same buzz that we all had. Football is such an integral part of people's lives, it really means a lot to the mental health of the supporters. Some people, football is the only thing they have to look forward to at the end of the week, and after a bad week at work, school, wherever, just a bad day, going to the football with your mates just makes everything better. Win or lose, 4-0 away at Gillingham, whatever, you still have a good time. I know personally that going to the football was always the highlight of my week, with your mates, having a laugh, watching your team win, celebrating goals, and the adrenaline you get when, you think your team's going to score, you're not sure if it's going in, winning games, chanting, just being a part of that experience is what makes football so enjoyable. And without the fans, football is nothing. So today I've decided that I'm going to rank the fans. Now obviously I've been following League One for the past 3 or 4 years now, with Blackpool being in League One, and I've been to quite a few games in that time, so I feel like it's right that I rank fans from 1st to 24th. Now just before we do jump into this video, if you do enjoy it, please sure to smash a like, comment down below and subscribe if you're new, because I've got so many League One videos planned, like ranking stadiums, players, etc., that I'm going to hopefully be able to film in the near future. And one thing to also mention, if I rank your team, where you don't think they should be, because at the end of the day, it's just my opinion, so really that means nothing. But, I thought it'd be nice to let you guys know what I think of your club. I'm going to start from the bottom and go up right to the top, and in 24th, no surprises here, we've gone with MK Dons. They were only reformed a couple years back, and therefore are quite a small club with a small fan base, and they do play in a 30,000 capacity stadium, yet only fill about 3,000 to 4,000 seats, which is very poor. And again, away from home, they really do not take many, around 100 to some away games. Being a new club, it's unlikely that they're going to have many fans, and unfortunately MK Dons, I'm going to have to put you 24th. Moving on to the second relegation position, 23rd, I've gone with Rochdale. Now I actually have the utmost respect for anyone that supports a club such as Rochdale, Tranmere, Oldham, because Rochdale is literally 5 minutes, 10 minutes away from Old Trafford. They might have Old Trafford and the Etihad, obviously the homes of Man United and City, and for people to still choose to support their local club, Rochdale, despite living right near, these massive clubs, you've just got to respect that. And unfortunately for Rochdale, a lot of those fans have opted for the bigger clubs, therefore meaning Rochdale do not have very many high attendances at all. They do have a decent home crowd, but away from home they barely take any, and only have a couple thousand at home, so unfortunately Rochdale are 23rd. 22nd, I've gone for Northampton Town, not the smallest club in the list, but unfortunately there are bigger clubs ahead of them. And Northampton, they do have a very, very small home ground in which you can actually see inside from the hill above. The stands are very, very small in that ground, like I say, and they really don't take that many away from home. But a great club also that I do like, and the fans seem really nice. 21st, I've gone for Accrington Stanley. Who are they? All seriousness, Accrington are 21st, a small club located in Lancashire. Very, very small capacity ground, only holds a couple thousand. Obviously, big clubs such as Blackburn just down the road. And again, away from home, they really do not bring a lot, like 90 to 100 sometimes to the long distance away games. Unfortunately, Accrington are going 21st. 20th, I've gone for Fleetwood Town. Now, don't get me wrong, if this was a list solely based on home fans, I would put Fleetwood Town in the top 10. But Fleetwood's home support is great. You see the flares, they've got the drum, they've got a guy getting it all going, standing up there. They've got a good set of lads in that stand, and, they really are passionate. But unfortunately, the numbers aren't fantastic, about 3,000 or 4,000. Similar to the other teams, the numbers aren't fantastic. They only bring around 100 away from home. Fleetwood is a very, very small town. they do have passionate fans, but unfortunately they are a small club and they're going to have to go in 20th. 19th and 18th, I've gone for Wimbledon 19th and Crew 18th. Again, two relatively small clubs, but great clubs. I love Wimbledon. I have all the respect for what they've been through. And I think their home fans are excellent. You know, you always see their ground full. And now they're obviously moving into the new stadium, Plough Lane, I think it is. So I'm basing this off the Kings Meadow attendance. Hopefully, when they move into Plough Lane, the numbers will increase and, you know, they can go a bit higher up the list. But as of now, I'm going to have to put them 19th. And Crew being 18th. Again, I apologise, Crew fans. You know, obviously just coming up to League One, I've not really seen you that much. But from what I've heard, you know, the home attendance is quite good. And some of these clubs, you know, don't deserve to be this low down. But unfortunately, some of the calibre of clubs in this league, like Portsmouth, Ipswich, Sunderland, you know, I've had to put them this low down. 17th, I've gone for Burton, and 16th, Shrewsbury Town. And they both do fill their stadiums quite well. You know, when I've been to the Pirelli Burton, it's always quite full, only holding, you know, 4,000 or 5,000, unfortunately. Shrewsbury Town, similar, I think, holding just a bit more, but again, getting similar attendances. Away from home, Shrewsbury tend to bring a little bit more than Burton, so that's why I've put them above. Coming in at 15th, we've got Swindon Town, and 14th, Gillingham. Two clubs with a great home support. Both of them seem to, you know, fill their stadiums quite well, the County Ground and the Priestfield respectively. However, I both think they're similar in that away from home, they don't particularly take too many. I mean, you can't really blame a club like Gillingham for not taking a lot of fans being in Kent. You know, they've got to travel up here north. The amount of money, time and expenses it costs. And same for Swindon being all the way down south as well. It is quite a trip. The next two clubs are regarded quite similar. 13th, Oxford United, and 12th, Doncaster Rovers. Now, both clubs have nice stadiums and they both fill them quite well. Oxford, you know, they seem to fill the Kassam most times I've seen. Doncaster have a good number at home, and away from home they do travel really well. I remember them coming to Blackpool bringing over 1,000. You know, I've seen other places they've been. They do travel in their numbers, and I do think they're worthy of a place in the top 10. However, it was so hard to narrow it down, and I've had to stick these two just outside. Coming in just outside the top 10 in 11th, I've gone with Peterborough United. It was so hard to keep these out of the top 10, because I know Peterborough's home support is phenomenal. You know, you always see that stand behind the goal, the ones on the side, they're always quite full. And they are a good club, Peterborough. When they've come to Blackpool, they have travelled in decent numbers considering, you know, they're all the way down south. And they will be up there this season, and I know for a fact that if fans were allowed in, those numbers would be increasing. So finally, we are into the top 10, and 10th place, I've gone with Wigan Athletic. Not so many fans turning up to the DW at home now, as it is labelled quite of a rugby town, but a massive, massive club with a massive history. Obviously, been in the Premier League for such a long time of its history, and winning the FA Cup a few years ago against Manchester City, you know, that says it all. Club that has sunk due to poor ownership and find themselves in League One. They were criminally robbed of a place in the Championship last season. I'd be absolutely fuming if I was a Wigan fan, and I feel for you all so much, just being demoted down to League One for no fault of their own, but off the field issues. Like I say, when I went to the DW in recent years in a League One fixture, you know, the ground isn't always full, but Wigan do travel in their numbers. When they came to Blackpool, they brought about 2,000-3,000 a few years ago, and going to some of the other grounds, they bring in thousands with them. So I've gone and put Wigan 10th. 9th, I've gone with Bristol Rovers, 8th Lincoln, and 7th Blackpool. It was really hard to split these three apart. However, I have got my reasonings behind that. So starting in 9th with Bristol Rovers, you know, their support is phenomenal. They fill the whole of their ground pretty much. Every time I see, you know, highlights, whatever, they look like they've got some decent limbs behind the goal as well. They're a good club, and they came to Blackpool on the opening day. They brought like 1,500 last season from Bristol, which is absolutely phenomenal. I know we wouldn't have taken that to them, but I do have my reasoning for putting Blackpool just above. The reason I've put Lincoln higher is because when I went to Sincil Bank, their fans were class. You know, they sold out the whole of that stand, the main stand they have. It's quite a big stand as well. The whole stadium was full pretty much, and, you know, for a League One fixture against Blackpool, it's not exactly the most appealing. And they've got a really good set of ultras in the corner there. You know, they've got the little flags and everything, and they do make a racket. When they scored, it was really loud, and some of the chants were fantastic. They've got really passionate fans, and I know that when they travel to Blackpool, they brought over 1,000. You know, seeing them bringing thousands everywhere, they got a good loyal following. I decided to put Blackpool in 7th simply because of our phenomenal home support. Talking about away fans, Blackpool's following is not quite as good as those teams. However, home support, I do genuinely believe that we have one of the top 3 best home supports in the league. No bias there. Because of the North stand is one of the most unreal stands. You know, the atmosphere that gets going. I've had comments, you know, over the last year or over the last few years, you know, from Bristol Rovers fans, Ipswich fans, many more saying that Blackpool's home fans were the best they've seen in years. And I do think we are a really, really passionate set. You've only got to look at the limbs and the pitch invasions against Bolton, you know, Fleetwood, Ipswich last season. You can get the crowd going. It's just a shame that our away following doesn't quite correspond, and hopefully that's something we can work on in the future. I've gone for Plymouth Argyle, obviously being one of the only 2 Football League clubs located in Devon. They're bound to have a big following, and a big following they do have. Bringing over 1,000 fans to Blackpool a couple seasons ago, I think they did that twice actually. They also sell out home park for the majority of home games, even in League 2, you know, it was very, very full last season. Their fans are amazing as well, they're so loud, passionate. You've got to just hold the utmost respect for Plymouth fans, because the amount they have to travel, going to away games such as Carlisle last season, bringing 500 there to like 10-hour plus journeys, and 1,000 to Blackpool, like the amount of money that costs fans, you've really got to respect that. Fifth place, I've gone with Hull City, just for the sheer size of the club. Obviously, they did have a drop down to League One again, a bizarre drop that nobody really expected. And at home, they do have a good, passionate set of fans. I've seen from various videos on YouTube, you know, the fans are really loud and eager when they score. And just the sheer history of the club, they're just a massive team, being in the Prem for so many years. And I know for a fact that they take a great away following as well. You've only got to look at the, you know, them at Leeds last season. Hull are a massive club that certainly, you know, shouldn't be in League One. And I feel like they will be back up there in a few years. The top 4, this is where it gets tight with 4th place Charlton Athletic. You've got to feel for the fans with all the off-the-field problems they've had. And, you know, they still turn up in their numbers to the Valley, really making a racket last season in the Championship, and were so unlucky to get relegated right near the end. You know, they started really well to life in that division. Really loud, really passionate. Took around like 20,000-30,000 to Wembley as well when they got promoted from League One. Fantastic support. And their away following corresponds as well. You know, the playoffs against Doncaster. You could argue a case that they're one of those clubs that, you know, are too big for this division. That leaves us with 3 teams left: Ipswich, Portsmouth and Sunderland. In 3rd place, I've gone with Ipswich Town. Ipswich, also a massive club, you know, spent many of their time in the Championship. Club with a fantastic history as well, obviously spending time in the top flight. They sell a lot of Portman Road, obviously a massive ground, and they do sell most of that out, like I say. And then away from home, 1,000 fans to wherever they go, like Blackpool, Lincoln, they brought a few thousand, Sunderland, you know, and just think about where Ipswich is, East Anglia. Just got to hold the credit that these fans, you know, travel week in, week out. First position, I have decided to go for Sunderland with Portsmouth 2nd. This was such a hard choice to make. The reason I went for Sunderland is because of the sheer numbers they bring away from home. Now, Portsmouth's Fratton Park is an unreal ground. I really want to go there. And their fan base is so passionate. You know, you'd barely see an empty seat in Fratton Park. And just look at the history of both clubs, both spending a lot of time in the Premier League. You're predominantly referred to as, you know, clubs that should be in the Premier League. Like, they're definitely too big for League One. And for me, I'd love to see Portsmouth and Sunderland back in the top flight, because that's where I associate them. But the reason I've put Sunderland first is because their away following is just a little bit more. Portsmouth do bring, you know, 2,000-3,000 wherever they go. But Sunderland sometimes bring 4,000 to 5,000, you know, to the likes of Coventry. And when they came to Blackpool, they brought 10,000 fans. Yes, 10,000. It's just absolutely incredible. Now, I know Blackpool's quite an appealing place to go, and we were having trouble at the time with home fans not attending. 10,000 fans. Just think about that. That's almost double than most of these teams on the list get at home. That just shows you how much of a big club they are, and they really do deserve to be in this first position. That is my league table for League One fans. Let me know what you think. If you disagree, let me know what you disagree with and why, because I want to know what you guys think. I'll leave a table in the comments if you guys want to copy and paste and sort of make your own. Which teams would you swap in my table and why? Because some of you probably know a lot more about League One than me, and this is just down from personal experience. So I hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, please sure to let me know by leaving a like, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel for loads more League One, Blackpool and FIFA content, and I'll see you guys in the
Wait a second. Are you subscribed? Please? Thank you.
video. Peace.
Honey.